Our next presenter will be our last presenter for the 2021 calendar. I think we've done close to 100 of these presentations, both online and through the Zoom platform. And I just wanted to thank all the people that work alongside me during the day and the executives who support us by coming on our platform. None of this would be possible without the hard work of our staff and participation from both the executives and patrons. Thank you for your continued support. Speaking of executives, one of the big things I look for as an investor is drive, hunger, and determination from the C-suite. Our next presenter is one of the hardest working people I've ever met and has advanced his company to some significant opportunities in the coming years. TRxADE Health, ticker MEDS or MEDS, or the stuff that I needed to take last night and this morning that I didn't, is a technology company focused on making pharmaceutical and healthcare services more accessible and affordable. Specifically, TRxADE is digitizing the retail pharmacy experience by optimizing drug procurement, the prescription journey, and patient engagement in the US. Not a small feat, especially now. Joining us on the call today, it is my privilege and pleasure to welcome Mr. Suren Ajarpu, the Chairman and CEO of MEDS. Suren, thank you again for closing us out. The floor is now yours.
Thank you, Chris, and thank you for the team at LD Micro. I always appreciate giving us an opportunity to present here. Welcome to TRxADE Health Inc., ticker symbol MEDS company presentation. Thank you for taking the time to get to know us and all the work we do. Before I jump into the presentation, because I'm well aware of safe harbor statement, before I present whatever the information that I present or forward-looking, advise you to consult your auditors and attorneys before you make any investment decision. With that, let me give you guys the scope of what exactly the TRxADE is all about. Today's trying times has shown us all the importance of good healthcare, its timely diagnosis, and the deliverance of appropriate therapy, whether it's a medication or otherwise. As we know, healthcare is very complex and varying priorities among stakeholders and at a runaway cost with every unmanaged treatment. Additionally, consumerism demand is at all-time high. The need to take one's health into its own hands has never been stronger, and a holistic approach to well-being is reshaping our healthcare institutions. There are many innovative companies that might have presented a whole day today that are trying to bridge the gaps in our fragmented healthcare, but none other than the story of TRxADE in its origins. TRxADE's story has started 10 years with a simple solution to help pharmacies to capitalize on the pricing arbitrage of pharmaceuticals to one today that involves a grander vision of bridging the gaps in healthcare services, especially experienced by the providers and patients. So to simplify, TRxADE, again, the ticker symbol MEDS, is a health services IT company focused on digitalizing the retail pharmacy experience by optimizing drug procurement, prescription journey, and patient engagement in the US. So how we will realize our vision, you may ask? The answer lies in the patient's touch points and winning the stakeholders' trust. To that end, we are a firm believer that there is no better person in engaging in the patient's well-being than their trusted pharmacist and physician. And TRxADE is here to unify that engagement through technology to effectuate positive health outcomes. So TRxADE has two components. One is the business to business, and the other one is the business to consumer. And I'll explain to you in first the B2B first, and then we'll jump right into the B2C. Another B2B model, you can see the pharmaceutical market size is very large, growing, but mainly dominated by the large oligopolies, resulting in a smaller pharmacies like a mom and pop shop, although larger in number, but unable to compete effectively when it comes to negotiating drug purchasing and insurance reimbursements. So if you look at the total pharmaceutical market size, which is almost like a $685 billion. That's by 2023. Currently, most of the stuff flows through the big chain boxes stores like CVS and Walgreens that are out there, 65,000 plus. That's not our market. We focus on the 21,000 independents, but still have a purchasing power of $74 billion approximately annually. Usually these pharmacies buy 80% of that product through the biggest wholesalers like McKesson, Cardinal, or AmerisourceBergen. However, that much concentration over the years created lack of cost and price transparency, thereby resulting in severe limitations on the purchasing choices of these independent pharmacies. That's the opportunity TRxADE started with. TRxADE created a distribution solution within a cloud-based environment or a cloud-based marketplace for US independent pharmacies to bring them the purchasing efficiency, pricing transparency, and means of product sourcing that meets their desired terms. So this is not a new concept. You've seen this in other online equity trading platforms like eBay or Kayak, but first in pharmaceuticals. But the good old concept of bringing buyers and sellers together is same here. So at a closer look, a typical independent pharmacy doesn't have the bandwidth or the resources to shop around. Shop around concept is not even widely popular. All the while, the Affordable Care Act at the time began to lower the reimbursements in an effort to save more money. These independents are looking for alternative solutions, which is very tedious, non-centralized, inefficient way to procure the pharmaceuticals. And TRxADE brought in a centralized, efficient procurement system, so that way they have a time to attend to their patient needs than worrying about the supply chain. The platform is a commission-based platform where the suppliers are paying a fee for each transaction, just like a Master or Visa kind of a fee on our platform. TRxADE is trying to grow in two ways. One is organic way, the other one is inorganic way. Organic way, we're still adding, currently we have around 12,950 independent members, pharmacy members on our platform out of the 21,000. Organically, we're still adding around 100 to 125 pharmacies per quarter. Where we are focusing is the inorganic growth. There's nothing but per wallet share or per month, per pharmacy purchase per month. So for these years, we focused on the garnering the masses of these independent pharmacies. Now we're focusing on the per pharmacy purchase per month. Typical pharmacy that does $3 to $3.5 annual revenue, they buy anywhere between $250,000 to $300,000 worth of drugs per month. Are they buying 100% through us? Currently, no. Approximately 5% is the one spent that on our platform. So there is a tremendous growth that needs to take place in exponentially these coming years to come. So the next divisions are the B2C, the business to consumer. Knowing that indirectly we're serving 12 to 15 million patients through our 12,950 independent pharmacies, why not we empower our independents so that they can compete with the box chains like Walgreens that has a Village MD and CVS has a Minute Clinic. We're trying to empower our independent pharmacies by providing our Bonum Health, which is nothing but a telemedicine platform, which is a convenient, affordable, non-urgent care solution. Of course, where we are also focusing is 32.8 million uninsured patients or underinsured that can use through this independent pharmacy network. Our niche here is the membership market, where we offer 50 state licensed, board licensed physicians that can offer a primary care visits through our platform with a low monthly price. Sometimes it's been lower than the copay of an insurance company for a single doctor visit. This is the most affordable solution in the market today. Our strategy is to partner with the retail stores, make us a very unique in the industry that is accustomed to spending millions of dollars in advertising or in acquiring a patient, with a low adoption rate versus we partner with our independents, they push the product into their consumers. Of course, we integrate with other trade bets like a health tools like Fitbit, iHealth, etc., for a remote monitoring patients. But our niche remains the same: the delivery of medication using our network of independent pharmacies same day. So other solutions like Integra Pharma and Community Specialty, those are our R&D arms of our products. Before we release the product to the independent, we undergo the thorough testing in our independent pharmacy as well as our supply chain solutions. Of course, our digital health passport, we ran into headwinds, especially with the political environment in Florida, that they don't like to use the vaccination passport. But it's, at the end of the day, we brought in this product to empower, again, the independent pharmacists when they launch this COVID-19 test or vaccination report, so that they can give the digitalize the reports to these patients. So far, I understand today's TRxADE, where we are going with this is the one that I'd like to talk about here a bit. Tomorrow's opportunity and what we see in the TRxADE. Our industry is evolving at a rapid rate, and with more technology, disruptors are finding ways to enter into the complex healthcare space. Some of these entrants are mentioned below are solving the convenience, but not necessarily the clinical and adherence aspect related to the healthcare. And of course, additionally, the smaller retail pharmacies who have traditionally been able to address patient needs have become disenfranchised, relying on a pre-existing antiquated processes and purely negotiated insurance contracts because of their lack of operational resources. That's what we want to empower these independents. And plus, on top of it, the consumer expectation in recent years are shifting to convenience over in-person, face-to-face interactions. And with the majority of the prescriptions today being dispensed by the national box chain, a comprehensive solution to address broader patient needs by a smaller pharmacies is still non-existent. And we want to empower our independent pharmacies by providing those tools. So the TRxADE is best suited to address the opportunity because we have the ability to digitally unify our 12,950 independent pharmacies and empower them to deliver the exceptional patient-centric health services to their potential 12 to 15 million patient base. Our solution is to create a largest digital pharmacy network in the country and to optimize the pharmaceutical supply chain and the health services delivery like never before. We want the patient's healthcare journey after they see the doctor to become one of a prompt recovery than navigating through fragmented pharmacy services as the case today. Like you spend after 2-3 hours with the doctor, you still need to go to the box chain and pick up your medication, wait for a prior authorization, and so on and so forth. And that's the journey we're trying to change here. So we believe our solution can be implemented because we aim to empower the existing healthcare infrastructure rather than rebuilding to the detriment of today's working healthcare model. And for that reason, it's highly adaptable by all the stakeholders. Of course, TRxADE has a multiple initiatives in play today that are well positioned within our B2B and B2C sector that are synergistically help realize our vision and bridge the gaps in the healthcare. So we focus on 3 main deliverables. The first one, as I mentioned already, the drug procurement optimization so that we can help reduce the cost of medication further. Of course, the second is the digitalization of patient health services as relates to prescription journey optimization. Like patient via our app would be more involved and better informed on their medication, resulting in enhanced medication adherence, which is where we're at. In essence, we try to create a smart prescription, much like we created a smart drug supply chain that would allow patients to get their right medication at the right time at a reduced cost delivered to their home office, wherever they are located. Thirdly, key to patient care is patient care is the patient engagement and the ability to offer them convenient access to the providers at all times. Our telehealth and our pharmacy services program would make a one-stop solution for consumers to looking to simplify their healthcare needs. So to summarize, guys, today's TRxADE is solving the problem of inefficient alternative sources of pharmaceutical supply chain, but tomorrow's TRxADE will be solving the larger healthcare issues of how to deliver a better care coordination among providers to optimize patient health outcomes. So we're building a successful circle of healthcare services so that our disenfranchised patients, we are their non-urgent care pharmacy services concierge. So we believe that patients with an easy access to their health records are better informed and able to engage in their own well-being. Of course, we streamline their journey when talking to the healthcare providers and optimize the delivery of prescriptions and other health services to them. So along their journey, we'll be able to offer them prescription discounts, much like GoodRx, and a national distribution support, quicker pharmacy services, much like Uber Health, and care coordination provider to deliver the right medication, much like Optimize RX. So that's the information that I have. Before I jump into the actual financials and management, I'll open up any questions that Chris or anybody have, then we'll take it up from there.
So you guys, you can either email me your questions or use the Q&A function on the Zoom app. Suren, there's a couple questions that have come in terms of your network size. Yep. The first one is, how has that number changed? I think it's close to 13,000 right now. How has that number changed in the last 24 months or post-COVID?
The post-COVID, still in the 2021, we approximately added around 1,200 pharmacies members. And the pre-COVID, probably, if you look at it, I'll give you the journey. We started the company in 2010. It took us 2 years to get our first customer. 2013, we had 40 pharmacies. Till today, we have 13,000 pharmacies. So the exponential growth. But not only that, if you look at it, another segment we haven't even addressed is the small clinics. I know we haven't even completely addressed the pharmacy market. We still have the non-traditional way to grow. The per wallet purchase per month is still catching up, but we've identified another part of the segment here, like a podiatrist or ophthalmologist, dentist. So those are also have a mom and pop single nurse. It doesn't have the bandwidth or the resources to shop around, and the shop around concept is not really widely popular. There are around 27,000 clinics like that in nationwide that are looking this kind of solution. So that's another brand new market. I know you may think that we're going to saturate, when we are going to saturate it out of the 21,000 independents, even if we reach it 50%, but the exponential growth is coming from the per wallet purchase per month. And the organic growth is still going to go and up some more pharmacies now entering into the clinics area, sorry.
Would you say that this is a fair statement? Your bread and butter are independent mom and pop small pharmacies, correct?
Correct.
So this question is in relation to that growth. They believe, so the question is, aren't small mom and pop independent pharmacies basically closing down at a record clip? Is there any truth to this statement?
If you asked me that 2 years ago, I would have said that. Yes, granted, when we started the company, it was 27,000. In last 10 years, it dropped down to 24,000. Yes, we've lost almost 3,000 stores in almost like last 10 years. That's 300 stores per month, per year. Is it going to go to the nil? Probably it may end up right around 21,000. The reason being is the fresh out of the college pharmacy schools that are coming out of the fresh graduates, they don't like to work for the box chain because there is no flexibility middle of the night that you got to work on a schedule versus they can open up that's where the average pharmacist age is between 58 to 62. Those are the people that are getting out of the business, they are selling, but the younger generation that are coming out of the schools are continuously. In this pandemic, there are actually 480 new pharmacies came up. And that was surprising because they don't want to work in this big box chain, and they would like to have the flexibility. So to answer your question, this is a true statement. And there are record 480 new pharmacies have been started in 2021.
Interesting. And then this question is about generating profits and profitability. You mentioned that you guys had a profitable quarters, 5 of the last 12. On the quarters that you don't make money, what's the primary reason behind that?
It's mainly, if you look at the last 2 quarters, we tapped into the PPE business that we are not aware of it. And some of the supply chain disturbances have caused us loss of supply. So we're still pursuing those supply guys because they've taken our advances, but they never delivered the product. And as for the gap, we have to book those expenses or the advances as our losses, even though we're still fighting through our legal battle to collect our money. Those are the losses. Is the platform profitable? Yes. But other than some money that we're still spending on the research and development, like our delivery systems, our bottom health, to empower our independent pharmacies, like we recently launched our discount card program. I'm going to talk about a little bit. So it's very little money going into the R&D section, but most of the losses came in through our supply chain issues. But our platform is profitable. We're still generating cash on cash basis, but gap basis, we are still at a loss.
Next question is, are you the largest shareholder of the company?
Yes, I'm one of the largest shareholders of the company, yes.
So how do you value the company as a manager or an executive versus how the street values MEDS? I thought that was an interesting question.
Yeah, that's a fantastic question, Chris. Right now the street is not understanding and stock value. It's very undervalued, and that's the reason, as you guys are aware, we're not working here for a sweat equity. We actually put in the hard cash back in 2010, and we are looking to grow this company to a much more larger, up to almost like $1 billion valuation. The way all the things are in place, that it needs to take over. We are ready to take off. We are on the end of the runway to take it into the skies, guys.
So this is a kind of a follow-up. Why is it that OPRX, another LD company, gets so much credit from the street and Meds doesn't get much or any? What do you think the main culprit is? Do you think it's just people not realizing exactly what it is that you do?
Yes, I think it's a lot of confusion between our B2B and B2C, and that's the reason people don't understand what exactly we try to do. We do have a marketplace on the B2B side, and how we are getting into the B2C is we're not directly marketing. We're empowering our independent pharmacies to offer those B2C solutions to the consumers. Am I spending? No, we're not spending direct consumer marketing. Suddenly I have 13,000 salespeople pushing my product into the 15 to 20 million population that is out there. So to answer your question, yes, the street is not understanding what we exactly do. And that's the reason we're trying to create that awareness. I know I came in October to do the LD micro presentation. So we're trying to create the awareness while we're executing our business plan. We are under the radar for a long time, and that's what we're trying to create that awareness right now.
And I promise you, this is the last question about the stock. James asks, can you address why the stock price has declined over the last month or two? Suren, before you answer that, I want to answer James. James, just to kind of put things in perspective, the LD micro index has corrected, I believe, 12% in the last month, okay? We haven't had a 10% correction since March of 2020. And the area that has been hit the hardest is pharma, medtech, bio. So if you look at meds and you kind of look at the dynamic that has taken place over the last, I want to say 30 to 45 days, or the last time that Suren and I saw each other, everything is getting smoked, okay? It just depends on how badly. Suren, I'll let you answer that.
Sure. I'm just going to add more on it. You're absolutely correct. On top of that, all small caps got crushed in the last month and a half. And so am I going to pay attention to the stock? price, though I'm executing the business plan because I strongly believe in what we're trying to do has a substantial potential to get a return on investment. And the multitude of the service offerings that we have, and with the current shareholder outstanding shares with the 8.1 million versus other companies have multi-million outstanding shares, our capital structure and the service offerings makes us as a first mover advantage in this space. And I think, so to answer your question, yeah, I don't know why it's behaving like that, but I think coupled, as you mentioned, the pharma, small cap issues that are hitting hard on our stock, than internal issues. But we're still sitting on a balance sheet. If you look at the third quarter ending, we still have a lot of cash, and we're generating cash on cash every month. So we're here to sustain.
And then, Sir, we have a couple questions in regards to the discount, the drug discount card. Can you comment about the rollout of TRx and whether the rollout is going to be regional or national right off the bat?
We're probably going to the regional first and then go after that as a nationwide. Just give you some typical examples why our independents are left alone. I don't want to name the cards, but there are publicly traded discount cards out there. And just to give you a simple example, if you take the discount card to an independent pharmacist versus a chain store, the independent pharmacy has to pay the discount card anywhere between $5 to $40 per prescription. But if the same discount card is used at a box chain, their fee may be less than $5. So my independent, so you are forced as a patient to go that discount card to the box chain, my independents are losing on it. So that's the reason we brought in our discount card to empower our 13,000 independent pharmacists so they can take advantage of an offering. And of course, if you take our discount card to the box chain, still our pharmacists are going to get benefited because we will be sharing that percentage back to that independent pharmacy.
I see. And in terms of overall rollout to a national basis, when do you think that's going to occur?
Probably in 90 days.
Awesome. No, look, and then this is the final question. I love this because I think it's something that we have touched upon over the years. What is it that the street simply does not understand about your company and your business?
They don't understand the intrinsic value of the service providing, service aspects or revenue aspects of the company. I'll just throw an example. Our B2B, it's a fee structure, right? The percentage fee, just like Master and Visa card. Our Bonum Health is a subscription model, $20 a month. Even if I have out of the 15 million patients that indirectly that I'm serving, even if I have a 1 million patients multiplied by $20, that's a $20 million per month revenue channel. And the drug delivery, and we get every prescription that we deliver to the pharmacy or to the patient, we make the money out of it. Those are the three revenue channels that people are not understanding. And these are tech revenues. So our tech margins are anywhere between 60 to 80% tech margins. That's what they are missing in the board on, why they're unable to understand what our company does in our revenue channels.
Appreciate it. And if anyone really kind of wants to go back in history to see which companies LD starts with during the year and ends, you'll notice a very discernible trend. I always want to kind of save the best for last. And right now in this market, even with this 10 to 12% LD micro index correction, it's really hard finding companies that are trading significantly under, what I like to consider tangible book value. Suren, what do you have planned for Q1 of next year in terms of investor conferences? Do you feel comfortable because we were pretty much the only physical game in town this year. 3Part did their event too, so you got to give a shout out to them out in Dallas. But how are you going to go to? Do you have a plan for investor conferences coming into Q1 and Q2 of next year?
Yes, I think we're attending a Roth conference and another one end of March. and one in April. We're trying to do at least 2 in each quarter. So the first quarter will be 2 and the following quarter will be 2.
And if there's anyone where I didn't get to their question, please feel free to send me an email. Sir, and thank you again for your time today. And I look forward to seeing you again sooner rather than later.
Sure. Thanks, guys, for everybody. And thanks for the opportunity.
You be well. Bye-bye.
Bye.